Some breaking news. Investigators speaking about that missing 5-year-old. Let's listen.
Analysis of those remains. Brianna Williams, the mother of Taylor Williams, has been arrested this evening on charges of child neglect and giving false information to investigators during the search for Taylor. The suspect has been absentee booked at a local hospital after being admitted today due to an apparent overdose of some sort. So the search effort was a massive operation which included teams from local, state, and federal agencies, and our community is indebted to them for their help, resources, and continued support. I'd also like to thank our local community for the outpouring of support and information that we've received in the last 7 days while working this case. So with that, I will turn it over to our state attorney for a couple comments.
Thank you, Sheriff. The missing persons investigation of 5-year-old Taylor Rose Williams that began last week culminated into an effort among multiple law enforcement agencies under the lead of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and across states. This is obviously not the outcome any of us had hoped to reach, but I want to thank all of the law enforcement agencies who really coordinated in an extraordinary effort to make this search happen. So this investigation has led us to what we believe to be the remains of Taylor Rose. And as Sheriff Williams mentioned, Ms. Williams has been arrested for the felonies of child neglect as well as making false statements during this investigation. So obviously at this time, many questions still loom and our office's work is just beginning. The amount of information that we have is frankly staggering and the legal implications complicated. This will require the systematic investigation of every piece of information, item of evidence, and lead to date. So as the sheriff asked, anybody who may have additional information about this case, we encourage you to please contact the sheriff's office. Already, the community's calls and cooperation have indeed mattered. We will continue to work with law enforcement to ultimately answer every question we are able to and ensure that justice is served for Taylor Williams.
Janice Nurse with Channel 4, can you talk at all about what type of child neglect happened?
So, no, I won't talk about the details of the type of child neglect. Again, there's a lot of aspects of this case, especially as we stand here today, that we're not going to be able to answer. I think the state attorney said it best. There is an immense amount of evidence and data that we have to pour through, and there are a lot of legal questions and things that have to be worked through with the state attorney's office. And so, we don't want to give away information or say anything today that may hurt that case. So we'll answer questions that we can, but we may not be able to answer them all.
Was there anything that was found inside the Southside apartment that led you to pursue those charges of child neglect specifically in that apartment?
So there are a lot of things in the course of the investigation that led us to that. Not only evidence that we found, but people that we talked to and other things that led us there.
What led you to that dirt road in Alabama? What led the investigators to find those remains?
So again, without going into a lot of detail, a lot of comprehensive data was pulled together, and analyzing all that with the help of our federal partners, we were able to to find a good location and begin that search, and obviously that led us to where we are today.
Sheriff Williams, do we know if 5-year-old Taylor Williams was ever locked in a room or any compartment inside of the apartment in Southside Village?
So we won't comment on any of the condition or circumstances around the case prior to the disappearance.
Condition right now?
So she's in serious condition. I don't have an update as of about an hour ago, but she is in serious condition at this point.
Can you confirm that she tried to commit suicide?
Only she knows that. I know that there's what appears to be an overdose, or she's ingested something. We don't know as of yet. That's all very late-breaking information, so that'll be part of something we'll have to dig into over the next couple of hours.
Is there anyone else that is currently in custody involved in this case?
No one else is currently in custody.
And there are no other persons of interest. It's just Taylor's mom.
So we will continue to investigate every lead, every aspect of this case. I think it's important to remember that we are nowhere near done in this investigation. So, while we've taken some steps today, we've got a lot of work left to do. And so, again, we'll continue to follow where the facts and evidence lead us.
Do you know specifically the timeline? Do you know was she found to have overdosed after the human remains were reported found, or was it before?
So I don't know the answer to that. So we'll have to look at all that throughout the course of the next couple of days.
Sheriff Williams, based on the remains and what you guys know now, how long ago do we think that 5-year-old Taylor Williams was there?
Again, not a lot of detail on that, on the answer, but it's hard to say. So we'll have, obviously, I mentioned the detailed forensic analysis. We will have experts help us with that as well. So we want to know exactly. It's not really, beneficial to speculate at this point. We just need the specialists to come in and answer those questions for us.
How long will it probably take to get the confirmation of whether or not this is her DNA?
So there are a lot of complicated, not only legal aspects, but obviously the science behind it may take a little while. So I don't want to give you a time frame because I'm not exactly sure. We have a time frame that we expect it to come in, but we could have challenges that arise that delay that. So we're going to continue to work through it, and as soon as we know, we'll be able to make sure
If
everybody
this is a
knows.
homicide, does this become an Alabama case, or does this become a Jacksonville case, or Georgia? Any indication where these remains could have?
So again, as I mentioned, we have a lot of work to do typically where the crime occurred. So again, but we got a lot of work left to do in this case. So one more question.
Are you able to describe the decomposition of the body at this point?
No, we won't get into details of that. Again, all of that will be answered by the specialists when they come in and do their work. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, just got finished listening to Jacksonville County Sheriff's Department there talking about the charges. All of this in connection to a missing 5-year-old Taylor Williams. He said that the mother has been charged in connection to her daughter's disappearance, booked at a hospital after an apparent overdose, charged with child neglect and making false statements to investigators about the case. He went on to say that it was information from the public that led them to the remains, which now are believed to be that of the little 5-year-old. This is a story that we'll continue to follow for you on air and online. You can look for more details on fox10tv.com. But for now, the big breaking developments are the mother has been charged in connection to the disappearance of her death. She's at a hospital. That mother is recovering. We'll continue to have the story. Stay close to Fox 10 News.